family-friendly pride events to drag queen story hour, you've heard of it all. And as a gay man myself, I'm not homophobic for having a few concerns about drag queens and children, and neither are you. Why are there 6-year-old drag queens performing for adults? Why are there drag queens teaching elementary school children how to twerk? Why are registered offenders teaching children how to become drag queens? Quite frankly, there's a lot of people who disagree with all of this, and you're not homophobic for disagreeing, because remember, disagreeing is not equal to being hateful or discriminatory. So with all of that being said, let's just dive right into this. Kids meeting a drag queens.
Nervous?
Yes.
How come? Do I look scary? Do you know what I am? A drag queen is someone who expresses themselves creatively through performance. So dress up in wild costumes, big wigs, crazy makeup, and then get on stage and perform and entertain people.
But the part that's missing from that is the fact that this person performs in clubs that are typically 18 plus. A drag queen is typically a grown man dressing up as a woman, getting on stage in front of drunk adults, and then just dancing provocatively, sometimes stripping to reveal more outfits for ones on stage, much like a stripper. And to note, these typically are not trans people. They are grown men that are just performing as a woman, and then they take it off and they live their day-to-day life as a regular gay man. Because sometimes the drag queens and the trans people, they get a little conflicted with the general public. They used to be in bars only, but now they've been branching out to the point where you can find them in your local library. Drag Queen Story Hour.
Please welcome Pickle and Miss Eugene.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. How's it going? We are so excited to be here for a little drag story hour this morning. Do y'all like stories? Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Eugene, what was your favorite kids' book growing up?
Well, I loved to read all the time when I was a little kid. My favorite was probably, does anyone know Where the Wild Things Are? Yeah.
Am I the only one that's weirded out by this? I can't be, right? I'm just uncomfortable. Your main profession is dancing on stage, and you feel the need to get off stage and read to children.
Has anyone been to a drag story hour before? Oh, great. Okay. Does anyone know what a drag performer is? What a drag queen is? Yeah, you do?
Yes, little boy.
Someone amazing and beautiful and magical.
Someone amazing and beautiful and magical. Again, I feel like a broken record. A drag queen is someone who dances on stage for money. You're confusing all these little kids.
Pretty close.
Thank you so much.
Now, how would you define a drag artist?
Drag is all about joy, self-expression, and love. So anyone can do drag as long as you bring that to the forefront.
You know how Halloween's soon and everyone has a fun costume, right? So it's like wearing a costume that you feel really good in.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
But where? They're not, notice no one's talking about that, but where? Where is 99% of your income coming from?
The hips on the drag queen go swish, 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 swish. Swish, 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 the hips on the dragon go swish, 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 all through the town. Okay, and now the shoes on the...
I've had enough. I cannot. I don't understand why these drag queens feel the need to read in front of children and teach them the drag queens go swish, 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 and swishing your hips, because the drag queen swishes their hips for grown men sexually. This is equivalent to a stripper coming out to talk to elementary school children about, oh, we just dance and we exercise on a pole like you do at playground on the little fireman pole. Like, this is insane. This is just crazy. And now, if you're unfamiliar with the name RuPaul is one of the world's most famous drag queens out there to date. He's responsible for bringing drag to the forefront with his shows like RuPaul's Drag Race and his conventions like RuPaul Drag Con. We'll be getting into him later on in this video, but RuPaul recently won an Emmy Awards for his TV show, and he came out in defense of Drag Queen Story Hour, quoting that knowledge is power, as if drag queens teaching children really is. I get it, it's a little spinny. I get it, teaching children how to read is a good thing, but we don't need a man in a dress and high heels teaching our children how to read and tell them, oh, you can be like me, you can be a drag queen too, when, you know, like, that's unnecessary. I don't see the point in this. We see that the left, CNN, saying RuPaul defends drag library events in Emmy speech, saying knowledge is power, kind of putting a twist on it. But then the right is getting to like to the realness of it, RuPaul pushes drag queen story hour during Emmy acceptance speech. You have the left taking the side of knowledge is power and it's okay and we're just teaching the children how to read. But then you have the right pointing to, hey, that's not the issue. The issue is that you have drag queens trying to teach the knowledge, and that's where it gets a little muddy. And if you like how this is laid out, how you have the left, right, center, you can see who's owning the news, you can see the factuality. If you like this style of reading the news, be sure to go to grounded.news/Amir and they'll hook you up for 30% off their Vantage subscription, which is what you're seeing here with everything unlocked. Literally the only place I get my news, because as you see here, it's like a news aggregator. Like, it gives you the topic and then what all the different articles are saying, what the left is saying, the center, the right, the different headlines, the bias insights. It's literally a hub for all the news, and it's the only place I trust because there's no ads on the platform, and you can quickly go in and see even blind spot. You can see what the left isn't reporting on but the right is, and then what the left is reporting on but the right isn't, and it just gives you back the power to get the news and media for yourself, so you're not being twisted and pushed a narrative. So with that being said, I'm glad and thankful that they are a longtime sponsor of the channel here, and I'm just thankful for their support. So be sure to go to ground.news/Amir to give them a try. Drag queen teaching children how to twerk.
Does anybody in this room know how to twerk? All right, well, it's quite important to the story, so I will just give you a very quick demonstration. All you need to do is you just stand with your feet sort of shoulder width apart, like so. Okay, and I'll show you at the side so you get a better view that way. And you crouch down into this sort of position here, so your bum's sticking out. I hope you're taking this all in. And then you just move your bum up and down like that, and that's twerking.
And these are the events that they're calling family friendly. What was supposed to be you just reading to children turned into a how to twerk session. Again, in what world is this appropriate? Please tell me. Apparently in our world, because this is the thing that's happening, but it shouldn't be. So now you have children being introduced to this whole drag queens and the drag world by school, by the local libraries, how maybe even their parents, or even TV shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, up to the point where now you have children wanting to be drag queens. 6-year-old drag queen.
My name is Asa. I am 6 years old and I do drag.
Asa is a baby drag queen. He performs at drag shows as Lulu Lovely Twirls.
Lulu Lovely Twirls.
He started doing this 4, 5, now 6 years old. He is by far the youngest.
I cannot believe this is real. I genuinely, I can't believe I'm making this video right now. I can't believe I'm watching this. I can't believe you're watching this. I can't believe this is a thing. We just saw a grown adult. See, I have a problem. I have a problem with any child being judged by adults for money on stage is a problem. Pageant shows, all of it. This is just wrong.
He is by far the youngest performer we've seen.
There's even adult performers that sometimes we can outperform.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the next RuPaul. At first I was terrified. You never really know what people's reactions are gonna be.
What do you think the biggest misconception?
Like the kids holding together the jacket because it's part of like drag queen's bits is to be covered up in the beginning and then to drop it and reveal more different clothing and more sexually suggestive clothing. Like that's the profession of a drag queen.
What he's doing is.
Well, I think there's a few. People who don't like what we believe can sometimes be violent. People want to cause harm to our family, like legit harm.
We're getting death threats.
Horrible things being said.
That there was a child stripping.
And dancing provocatively.
Calling
what
us
that is.
Groomers, pedophiles.
Child Protective Services was called on us.
And then the anti-drag bill.
This is an activity that is exploiting children.
We had a child that would be directly affected by this law. Asa whispered in my ear, "Can I testify?" I still wasn't sure where I was at with him performing drag at that point. I said, "Are you sure you want to speak?"
It's like he was born to do this.
He wasn't born to do this. That child, like... I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're eating a nice meal, or you're just in your car, or you're in bed, your desk. I don't know. But I'm sure you're having more fun than me right now because I'm struggling with this.
I would say the real conversation about drag started the first time that he went to Pride with us.
The first time that we took any of our kids to Pride, Asa was 4.
So this was introduced by the parents at a Pride parade, which probably was deemed as family friendly, knowing good and well it was not family friendly.
So the conversations led to, would Asa ever want to wear a dress? The first dress he owned would have been the Barbie nightgown. He said to me one day, I am going to go put on my dress and I am going to sing and you're going to video me and put me on Facebook so everybody can give me likes. And I said, okay. And that's the video that really kind of spurred this journey then, because I shared that video and that.
Oh my gosh. This is why CPS gets called. Literally, your child is set on a pathway to be dancing in a club, stripping for money, and then the child ain't nothing but 6 years old and already is make a video of me and get me likes. If you don't go, I can't. How, y'all.
That's how we got invited to the first brunch. That just led us to subsequent invitations. After that first time, he fell in love with it. There's no turning back. Now we almost have one performance a month that Lulu gets to do.
My drag name is Lulu Lovely Twirls. When we were in the car, we were...
There's grown adults handing a 6-year-old money on stage for being a drag queen. All I wanted to do was have the right to get married and adopt. And now we're here, trying to allow kids to transition, kids to be drag queens. Like, why? This is so ghetto. Just, ugh.
Would you consider yourself a boy or a girl or what right now?
Boy.
Do you like being a boy all the time or some of the time?
Some of the time.
What about when you're Lulu? What are your pronouns?
She and they.
You know what? The kid ain't nothing but 6 and is already a drag queen. It's talking about us 2 different personalities. One's the boy Asa and the other is the drag queen that goes by she and they.
We're like, we can't hide this anymore. We need to be out and we need to really show support for the community as a whole.
This is not my community. I'm so sorry. This is not my community. I know what I do behind a closed door. I know I'm with a man, but this right here is not representative of my beliefs, how I feel, and this is not my community. I have nothing to do with this at all.
This past legislative session, LB 371 was introduced, and it is the anti-drag bill.
Looking to ban youth at drag shows, which would be like Drag Queen Story Hour.
It's in the car.
It was very loosely
Good.
worded so that...
Personally, good, because I keep saying this, but I have to keep reiterating it because there's a lot of people who don't get it, but the profession of a drag queen is to be stripping in a club. You can, and it has nothing to do, it's not anti-drag. If you want to be a drag queen, you can. You can be out in public, you can be in a club, do you, but 18 and up.
My name is Asa. I think drag is a good thing. It makes me happy and I really like it, and I really like dancing and pretending to sing, dressing up as a girl.
I knew that I had to give him some questions. I said, how does drag make you feel? He went to that mic and he said, how does it make you feel?
Powerful. Powerful.
When he said powerful to me, that was like, whew, the weight of that word just hit me so hard because I still wasn't sure where I was at with performing drag at that point. Is it worth the fear that comes along with it? And he says powerful, and I'm like, dude, I'm here.
This is what you call not a parent. This is what you call a roommate. He's not parenting. He's just letting the kid do whatever the kid wants to do, whatever the kid sees, and profiting off of it, quite frankly. How you hanging in there? This is real. I want everyone to see this damn video. I want everyone to see everything that is going on between drag queens and children. And it doesn't stop there. This isn't like an isolated incident. You can just YouTube it. You can Google it. There are tons of child drag queens. There's an 8-year-old drag queen.
Lactatia is the deviest diva you could ever think of.
When he was about 7, we started watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I think when he saw that that was an actual art form and they could be whatever they wanted, I think he decided that that's when drag was going to be like his life.
The parent, once again, introducing the child to drag queens. And of course a kid wants to be a drag queen. I mean, it's bright, it's colorful, you're dancing, like you're getting all this attention. Hello, at a very basic like level, it sounds enticing to children. But you don't tell them about the full path that it is and the full scope of the job.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello.
My advice to you is keep going. Learn your lyrics well. Give them face, give them choreography, give them a lot of energy. By the time you turn 12, you are going to be a weapon of mass devastation.
A lot of people ask me if I'm gonna be a drag queen forever, and it's always the same answer. Probably. I hope I'm still gonna be a drag queen. If I'm not, that's totally fine. But I really hope that I can keep my lactation inside of me for the rest of my life.
In a club, dancing for money. Cool. Let's recap real quick. Let's get our bearings together. We've got drag queens reading to children and teaching them how to twerk. And now we're seeing that follow down into the kids being exposed to these drag queens and growing up saying, wow, I want to be a drag queen for the rest of my life. And you have some parents aiding to that and feeding this to the children and saying, yes, we'll buy you the wigs, we'll buy you the dresses, we'll take you to perform, you go to bars. This is all happening. Even as a gay man who goes to drag shows, I'm uncomfortable because they are children. This is not about being homophobic. This is not about being hateful. It's literally just, it's concerning. It's very shocking and concerning, the link between drag queens and children, and it needs to be broken up. And it's gotten to the point where now there are, at these adult drag queen conventions, they're inviting children.
Nothing makes my heart more full than seeing little draglings coming up and discovering who they are, their inner divas, their inner fierceness, and the parents are the heroes in this case because really, because I came up in a time where there was not this much acceptance and understanding, and so thank God for RuPaul's Drag Race for putting all of us in the light that we need to be shown in, and all you guys are supporting it. So yes, make some noise.
Thank you. So are you ready to see some fierce runway tonight? Tonight, it's 10 in the morning, today. We're so used to being at bars, I apologize.
We're so used to being at bars, we apologize. I feel so defeated. The main employer is a club, y'all. Let's be real here.
Let's bring out these divas! Baby,
I need something. 1 second. I've had enough. I need a drink. I can't, you know what? This shit's crazy, y'all. I don't know how. We got some tequila, some reposado, batch Nuevo Vino. I don't know. I'm like, I'm about to have a mental breakdown. Cheers to lunacy and attempting to be the change we wish to see. And yeah. Jeez. I cannot believe this shit, y'all. Whew. I cannot believe this. I genuinely cannot believe this. This how it's so uncomfortable. I genuinely feel disgusting. Genuinely have the heebie-jeebies. Genuinely, utterly confused. Like, that is a room full of thousands of adults and consenting parents that think this is okay and fine. Like, this is real life. This is where the concern comes in. When children are being used to dance on stage for the approval for adults in order to make an income, I will always have a problem for it. Whether it be drag queens, pageant shows, I do not care. It is disgusting and it needs to end. And what baffles me even more, surprisingly, I can't even believe we're about to go further diving deep into this. Not only are they at conventions performing, but they are in bars. And it don't stop there. Grown adults handing children, elementary grade children, money for singing and dancing in a bar. I sound crazy, but this is real. This is where we're at, and this is why I make the content that I make, because I do not agree with this, and this does not represent the LGBTQ community or any of my followers at all. It is not homophobic, anti-drag. It's not any of this to be against this. I'm totally fine with drag queens existing in above 18 spaces, but for getting children on a pathway, a career path, to be over it. Predatory Behavior. This very popular drag queen named Trixie Mattel, I've actually seen the drag queen live before in the past. They made a response video to some Christian girls talking about drag queens and children. And while it was interesting hearing Trixie's perspective, the problem that Trixie did was that Trixie talked on behalf of all of gay people. And that's where we get muddied, and that's where we end up in situations like we are today.
Preying on these young children.
Okay, no she didn't. She just said preying on these young children. You guys, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm going to tell you something very fundamental. Nobody who does drag thinks about kids.
This is Albert Garza, a registered child offender, convicted in 2008 for an 8-year-old boy. This is also him, Tatiana Malanina, his drag queen alter ego. This is who's been reading to kids at Houston Public Libraries since last year.
Nobody who does drag thinks about kids.
So it does happen. And I genuinely hate that it does. It puts such a bad reputation on the gay community. And it sets a large chunk of the efforts that the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community has made to be accepted in society. It's washing all of that away. We're already a minority within the United States, and we're having some of the most vocal, prevalent, and famous gay people speaking on behalf of all gay people saying that these things don't exist when we know they do. None of this would be happening right now if they just kept it real and they called out the bad things for what they are. For you to sit here as one of the most popular drag queens and say that this isn't happening when we know that this is why the Republicans and the conservatives are getting so loud and crazy, okay? This is why people like me and Blair White, Marcus Dipp, like all these gay content creators on YouTube, we spend a lot of time talking about LGBTQ issues because they're trying to do damage control because of how crazy things have gotten and how they just ignore the bad things that are actually happening within the community like that. The same people who are saying, oh my God, gosh, Republicans and conservatives are generalizing the entire gay community, are the same people that are speaking on behalf of the entire gay community. Make it make sense. It doesn't add up. You can't sit here and complain that they're generalizing us when you're speaking on behalf of everybody. You can't do that. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for other gays. You don't speak for other drag queens. I don't speak for the entire gay community. That's why my voice, I try to be vocal and show that there are different gay people out there, and show that there are gay people that don't accept any of this, because it's not okay. This is the exact reason why all these drag bills are popping up.
Several Republican-led states, including Florida, Kentucky, Idaho, North Dakota, Montana, and Oklahoma, are considering legislation that would ban drag shows in public. Tennessee became the first state to pass such a law last week, and it's raising new questions about what exactly is being made illegal and why.
Majority of these bills are not even homophobic. These lawmakers are simply scrambling and trying to prevent everything that we have just discussed and witnessed. They want to get rid of the family-friendly pride events and get rid of any child performing drag or witnessing drag because of the harmful things that we have just witnessed. A lot of the stuff that we're seeing is not family-friendly. That same drag queen that I just brought up, Trixie, in that same video, they talk about how there's family-friendly movies and there are R-rated movies, and there's family-friendly drag events and there's R-rated drag events. The problem we have is that one is regulated and one is not. We have the Motion Picture Association for a reason. It's accredited and trustworthy. When you see a G-rated movie, you know it's G-rated. When you see an R-rated movie or an NC+17 movie, you know it's for adults. You have a mass amount of event organizers and drag queens saying, yes, this is a G-rated performance, it's a family-friendly pride event, and it's everything but. That is the problem. At the end of the day, when you wrap up this conversation between drag queens and children and them reading to the kids, teaching the kids how to twerk, having them perform on stage, having children be in bars, being thrown dollar bills, it all boils down, genuinely, it all boils down to the profession of a drag queen. And it is one that they are employed by a bar and thrown dollar bills by drunk adults in an 18+ establishment, just like a stripper. When you are raising a child to be a drag queen, you are raising them down a career path to be technically a stripper. That's the problem a lot of Americans, a lot of people around the world have with children and drag queens. 9 times out of 10 has nothing to do with the art of drag as itself. 18 up, 21, I don't care. It's a free, at least in America, it's a free country, do as you want. I genuinely don't care. I attend some drag shows. I think they're bopping. There's videos out there somewhere of me dancing with some drag queens in an 18+ establishment. For children, it's not appropriate. It's literally that simple. The main point of this video is to highlight and show why a lot of people have problems and are concerned and are frustrated with the link between drag queens and children. Because as I've said before, the gay relations in the United States, after gay marriage got legalized, there were a few hiccups here and there, but for the most part, the gay community was fine. The gay community was chilling. We had a lot of rights. We were vibing. It was cool. But then the kids got involved. And the second the kids got involved, that's when we've seen everything blown up. From transitioning kids to having drag queens involved with children, that's where we're seeing everything hit the fan. And rightfully so, because it's not appropriate. It's genuinely not appropriate. It is sad to see, and I'm hoping this video reaches a lot of people. I'm hoping this video shows a new perspective on why people are upset at this. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it a ton. Liking, subscribing, and sharing means more to this channel than you know. My goal is to hit 250K by the end of the year, so I think we'll make it. We're already at 160, so that's just, I laugh because this is so crazy to me. Like, we just got this. That's more than grateful and honored for the support. As always, do know and do not let anything prevent you and stop you from going after your goals and dreams in life. Not even 14 years ago, I was contemplating ending it all, and now I'm here living my dream life and the happiest I've ever been. So if you're out there, the message is for you. Do not give up. Keep going after it, and you can be the change you wish to see in your own life. Also, be sure to leave a cloud emoji below in the comments and leave a topic that you'd like me to discuss. I will try my best to go through all those comments with the cloud emoji. So be sure to leave a comment if you want me to answer a question or you have a topic that you want me to talk about. Be sure to add it there below. But with that being said, I'll be sure to catch you in the next video. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you have a great day. Deuces.